Hi everyone, Phil Pendlebury here, and I hope you're having a super mega large day. Welcome back to the Steinberg Nuendo channel and my little section, Nuendo Explained. So here we have the first part of another two-part mini-series, otherwise known as a duology. And in this one, we're going to look at some of Nuendo's dialogue workflow tools. In this particular part, we're going to have a look at cleaning up some noisy dialogue very quickly, and then we'll look at direct offline processing in a little bit of detail. And before I do carry on, just want to quickly say thank you ever so much again for all your comments and positive vibes from the last videos. It's always a pleasure, and please keep them coming, especially if you have any ideas for any forthcoming content that you'd like to see. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get into Nuendo and have a look at cleaning up some noisy dialogue. Okay, so here we are in Nuendo 13, and we'll get the headphones on. You guys might want to use headphones for this one too, because some of the stuff that we're going to look at could be quite subtle. So what I have here is some dialogue, which has some quite drastic background noise. I hope you'll be able to hear it, and this is why I suggested using headphones, so that it's clear. If we have a look, you can actually see the noise here. But let's have a listen, and hopefully you'll see what I mean.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here. We're recording lots of voices today. Let's have a look and see what's going on in Studio One. Looks like someone's reading the news. Here in Studio 2, we're recording an advert for a new movie which is coming out next year.
Okay. And just in case it's not clear, we can go into the editor here and select a little bit of that noise. Let's activate the independent track loop. We can select some of that noise and we'll just loop round it a few times so you can hear it. And I'll try and turn that up for you when we're editing the video so that it's very clear. So there's the noise. Okay. Now, as you guys know, there are a number of tools that help us with getting rid of noise, but Nuendo comes with a free plugin called Voice Separator. So what we're going to do is have a look at that. So the first thing we need to do is bring up our mixer. Have a look at that channel.
Hello, can I help you?
There it is. And we're going to add the Voice Separator plugin as an insert. And actually, this is a really straightforward and simple plugin to use. We have two settings on it, dialogue and background. And if I just loop around this file, we'll leave everything at full to start off with.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here.
Hopefully you can still hear the background and the dialogue clearly there. And what we're going to do is just reduce the background.
We're recording lots of voices today. Let's have a look and see what's going on in Studio One. Looks like someone's reading the news. Here in Studio 2, we're recording an advert for a new movie which is coming out next year.
So that's pretty impressive straight away, isn't it? But what I'd like to do is leave it just a little bit above 0, but we can go all the way to 0 for the sake of this video. Just have a quick listen.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here. We're recording lots of voices today. Let's have a look and see what's going on in Studio One.
So as you can hear, that has actually done a great job instantly of getting rid of the background. And sometimes, like I said, you might want to leave it up a little bit just so that you've got a little bit of that room tone if it's necessary. Let's just out of interest have a listen the other way around.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. We're recording lots of voices today. Let's have.
So you can hear that if we reduce the dialogue, you do still get some of the background noise, although there are a few artifacts there. So there's lots of tools that do this, but this one is built into Nuendo. And of course, the beauty of this at the moment is it's running in real time, so we can export it as we like. So how would we work if we had multiple clips on different channels that all needed a little bit of voice separation or background noise reduction? Let's just quickly prepare a project and we'll have a look at how I do that. So let's just close the plugin for a moment, and what we'll do is we'll create a little hypothetical scenario here. We'll split that dialogue into a few pieces, select these two here, and move them down to another track. And as you can imagine, this may well be more than one track. It may be 10 tracks, and there may be hundreds of these. So what I'd like to do now is show you how to use direct offline processing to achieve a faster workflow with this. So first of all, let's have a quick look at the direct offline processing dialog. There it is. So what is it? Well, direct offline processing is often missed and very useful. You can add processing by adding plugins or audio processors, and some of these are built in already. And furthermore, you can add FX chain presets, track presets, or effect favorites within the direct offline processing window. Or indeed, you can drag plugins or plugin chains from inserts or from the media rack. And if you add a plugin effect or a process, its last use parameter settings are loaded, and you can reset it to its default settings by clicking Reset to Default. So I think probably the easiest thing to do here would be to just show you it in action. So we need to select a clip to start off with, and you can see that that's come up here. And we can do a quick process there. Let's say gain. We can apply that. We can use a new version, which is also very handy, and we'll explain a little bit more about why that is handy later on. But let's just quickly do it, because I want to show you one of the advantages of using direct offline processing over, for example, maybe automation. If I press Control Z on my keyboard here, we have undo. So quickly, let's do that gain again. We'll go new version. Then quickly, let's do a resample. Doesn't matter, we're not listening to it. So we've done a couple of processes on that particular clip. And now if I Control Z, we can go back to how it was before, which is really useful. You can see that Steinberg provides a bunch of particular processes that can be used. But not only that, we can also use any of our plugins within direct offline processing. And there are one or two that are specific only to direct offline processing. So how do we go about applying direct offline processing to some of these clips? Now, there's a number of ways we can do this. I'd like to show you a couple of my favorites. We've got the two tracks, and as you can hear, they are still...
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here. We're recording lots of...
Still being treated with the voice separator, and because we copied the track, the voice separator is on both of those tracks now. So we'll select all the parts. We'll bring up direct offline processing, and you can see there's multiple selections. We'll do a quick gain just to make sure that you can see what's happening, and we'll hit apply. We'll go new versions, and you can see that that gain has been applied to all of those parts. So we'll undo that with Control Z, and now we'll look at our voice separation process in direct offline processing. So once again, we've got all those parts selected, as you can see, and there's a few ways we can do it. We can go to plugin and we can search for the plugin here, or this is a handy method that you might not be aware of. We have the voice separator already set how we like it, and what we can do is simply drag it over. Once again, new versions, and let's close the mixer down for a second, and you can see that the voice separator is now ready to be applied to those clips. I haven't got auto apply turned on, and there's a reason for that. We'll get to it in a minute. So you can see here, voice separator, 5 parts, we're ready to go. The settings in voice separator are exactly as they were in the mixer. So the only little thing here we need to note is that because we've got it in direct offline processing, we don't need it in the mixer anymore. So we can either just bypass it, or in my case, I'll just remove it from both of those. And so these channels are now clean. And let's have a listen.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Hello, can I help you? No problem.
And that's the first track. So we apply that, and it will now go through all of those and apply it to all of them. So if we now come out of direct offline processing, and let's just pick one of those, let's say this middle one here, you can hear,
hello, can I help you? No problem.
That the noise has gone. Super cool. So we'll undo that and we'll continue. While we're on the subject of ways of getting your plugin into direct offline processing, let's just quickly do that again. So let's go Voice Separator, and let's also add Voice Designer, just for, the sake of something. I'll have a quick listen to that.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here.
We're recording lots of voices today.
Okay, so you'll notice there that Voice Designer that we added to this, we've got two plugins here, the Separator and the Voice Designer, didn't affect the second channel. All right, so let's have another quick listen.
Hello, can I help you? No problem.
Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here.
And again, what could we do to make this quicker? Well, if we quickly just reselect all of our parts again, bring up the mixer, and we'll select the entire insert rack and drag it into direct offline processing. We will remove them once again from the mixer, close the mixer down, and you can see here in the direct offline processing that we have two processes all ready to go, and all we have to do is hit apply. And now let's listen.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Hello, can I help you?
Let's go back to the actual project.
Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here. We're recording lots of voices today.
So you can see that that has been applied to all of those parts in one go. And once again, if we just bring it up, we can do undo, undo, and undo again. So let's now have a look at some of the other features of direct offline processing. First of all, I'll just quickly show you about auto apply. So we'll click the auto apply button and we'll select just one of the parts for the sake of speed. We'll get our plugin again, which would be Voice Separator. And you can see as soon as I've activated that plugin there, that the process has happened. And if we listen to it,
hello, can I help you?
You can see that that process has already been applied. Okay, but I like to leave that off generally because I like to have a little bit of control over, what's going on. So let's once again undo that. And there we are, back to normal.
Hello, can I help you?
So we've kind of looked at ways to clean up that noisy file, and we've used it in direct offline processing as well. There is one other way which you can do, which is applying it to the entire file within the pool, which is actually really useful, but I'm not going to bother going into that now. What I'll do now is just show you some of the features of direct offline processing. We'll use a different plugin, something that's a little bit more obvious so that you can hear and see what's going on. So let's have a look at pin process. We'll select this file here and we'll just go to our pitch driver because it's nice and easy to see.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Hello, can I help you? No problem. Hello.
All right, we've set that how we like it, and we can process that particular file, this one here. So we'll do that. Again, we do new version. Now what we can do is do pin process. So if we click that, you can see that that process is now pinned into the upper left area. And if we actually just close down DOP and go to another file, let's say this one over here, and we can open that and we can actually just apply that to that one as well. So if we now listen to the two files.
Hello, can I help you?
And this one here.
Looks like someone's reading the news.
You can hear that that's been applied. Okay, so one of my favorite parts of direct offline processing is actually the favorites down here. You can build up some really useful stuff and it works really quickly. So let's just go through the procedure. We'll put the voice separator in there, and we'll leave it set how we had it roughly before. This is in the mixer now. And let's add some reverb. So we'll add reverence.
Hello, can I help you?
So we've set up our channel with a little bit of ambience, and we've also got rid of the background noise once again.
Hello, can I help you?
So now I'm going to bring that into direct offline processing, like I showed you before. We need to select the event, and then we will take the entire channel and we'll drag it down here. We make new versions once again, and that's okay. That's not really relevant. But now what we can do is if we select both of those, incidentally, by the way, we can change the order if necessary. If we select both the voice separator and reverence and drag it down to the favorites and give it a name, denoise rev. So we can now delete that entire process. That's all back to normal. Let's make sure that we've got rid of these from the mixer.
Hello, can I help you? No problem.
So that file is now back to normal, and let's go to this one.
We're recording lots of voices today.
And again,
We're recording lots.
if we click our favorite here, new version, and off we go. And you can build up as many of these as you want. Very handy for things like if you've got a DS process, for example, that you want to DS and you're going through a dialogue or a vocal. And if you want to quickly select parts and just quickly DS them, or even just lower the levels, this is really handy for that. So there is one more thing I'd quickly like to show you. There are some more controls in direct offline processing. We have extend process range, which enables you to work on parts of the file that are outside the selection there, and the tail, which is useful for things like reverb and so on. We'll come to the final thing now, which is simply this. So let's select all those parts and make sure that that has been applied to everything. And this is still using direct offline processing as like a glorified plugin.
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here.
So it's still there in real time. But the final thing is we can select those parts and we can make all of that permanent. And what we do is we go up to the menu, we go to make direct offline processing permanent. We get a message saying, are you sure? Yes. And now, if we bring up direct offline processing again, you can see that none of those items are there. But if we actually play the parts...
Hello, can I help you? No problem. Come on in and I'll show you some of the things going on here.
all of those parts now have that processing burnt into them. And because the process is made permanent, that means that there's no CPU being taken up by direct offline processing. And of course, in our example, we've got 5 little clips. I know you guys, and even myself as well, often would be working with hundreds of clips, so it's really useful to save on that CPU power. So that will do us for today. We've had a little detailed look at direct offline processing, and we cleaned up the dialogue. And in the next one, as I said, we'll continue with a couple more of my favorite dialogue workflow features in Nuendo 13. I want to say a big thanks once again for being with us. Hope this has been useful for you. And don't forget, like, subscribe, send me some comments, send me some ideas for things that you would like to see. And of course, any questions, we'll answer them as usual. That's it for now. Have a super mega large day. See you soon. Bye.